Blessings to all of you. It's my privilege today to be with you today and share this time and this space with this modern technology. There's this beautiful sutra in the Sri Guru Granth which says, "Wahan tat jaiye je iha na hoye." I only need to go there if that is not here. So, time and space, we are sharing that. I'm there and you are here. So, with this modern technology, we are sharing the same space, although we are in different space. And we are sharing the same time, experiencing the same time, although we are in a different time. And thank you, Amrit, for, gathering this or giving birth, I will say, to an opportunity where we can give life. Life is food, food is life. So those of you who have come and sat, and those of you who have given part of their life, okay, part of your life, so that somebody else can be alive. It's the greatest act of dharma. Dharma is when you are able to give something which belongs to you or which you have ownership over, and you have the heart, you have the opportunity to share it with others. So it's a dharmic act, and it's one of the highest act. So thank you, all those who contributed and who made this, possible. So today's session, we will be diving into some beautiful meditations around the breath, around the pavan, around the prana, and there's a sutra in the Vedas. I'll start with the Vedas. There's a mention of a very beautiful sage, very beautiful sage. Her name was, or her name is Gargi. Gargi. Most of the contributors towards the Vedas are male, but there's one female. Okay, so most of the contributors are male, and they're known as rishis. Rishis means a spiritual scientist. Those who can download the unknown, they are called the rishis. So most of the contributors are rishis. But there is one female sage inside who's equivalent to all those rishis. And she's called Vedushi Gargi. Vedushi Gargi. The female contributor to the Vedas is known as Vedushi, means the one who gave birth to wisdom. Rishi means, listen, Rishi means the one who can download. Okay? Download. It doesn't belong to him. It doesn't belong to him. But he have reached such a peak of evolution that he can download it. It's called a Rishi. Vedushi, which means a female contributor to the Vedas, is called Vedushi. Vedushi means the one who gives birth. One brought it from there, and one gave from here. A part of her. So the female body is such that she can give birth and take out a part of herself and give that as a service to humanity. So her name was Gargi, Vedushi Gargi. It's a long story, but in relation to our practice today, there's a quotation by Gargi in the Vedas, in the books of wisdom, the first 4 books of wisdom. Humanity, before the Vedas, only memorized, only heard. Before the Vedas, it was heard, memorized, and given. But then these great sages, the rishis, got together and said, you know what? Let's pen it down. So they penned it down, and that wisdom, which was once upon a time heard, memorized, and given, is just now given. Okay, so job done easier for us. Once we are ready, we can read them and then we can transmit them to someone else. So in those sacred texts, the first text is the Rig Veda. And in the Rig Veda, there is a dialogue between Vedushi Gargi. And it's mentioned that whenever the name of Gargi is mentioned, whenever the name of Gargi is mentioned, it's a tradition that you must close your eyes and in reverence for a few seconds bow to this great woman who held the highest wisdom. So let's complete that. I want you to close your eyes. Close your eyes. And as you close your eyes, stop moving. Because when you move, your body moves. And when your body moves, the mind moves. And when mind moves, world moves. And you will not be able to receive. So find an anchoring point, sit, close your eyes, and bow to the great sage of the Vedas, Vedushi Gargi. Beautiful. Open your eyes. She was a Digambara. She was a Digambara. There are many translations of Digambara, but Digambara means the one who wore the sky. One who wore the sky. The sky was the cloth. She was clothed with sky. What it means? It means her awareness was so expanded that she wore the whole cosmos upon herself. She was no more an individual. She did not have an individual personality. She has dissolved into totality and became the totality. So anyone who wears the sky, whose consciousness is vast, whose mind is not the hindrance to the moment. Ordinarily, every moment, our mind is a hindrance. The mind tells you another story, but the story out there is something else. So whatever you're experiencing in this realm of time and space is second-hand information given to you by your mind. So you never perceived the world as it is. You never heard the world as it is. The sages of the past, they mentioned your eyes don't see. They project. Your ears don't hear. They project. All your five senses, based on a certain pattern, projects the world outside. It never sees the world outside. It projects the world outside. So you're creating your own drama. But she has gone beyond drama and she has entered dharma. She was Digambara. Look at that name. The language, Digambara. That expansion comes with these words of the sages. So when this Digambara, the one who wore the skies, the one who held a seat in the skies, her consciousness was expanded. She was asked a question, a very important question, very important question. And this question is still being asked everywhere. In fact, it is one of the most important questions. And to the extent that this question have been asked again and again and again, and the essence have been lost. So this question was first asked in the Vedas. And the question is, everybody got together, went to this great woman sage, the sage of wisdom, and asked her, Katham ekoho devahati. Katham ekoho devahati. Tell me, what is this one God? What is this one God? Everybody talks about one God, one God. Tell me, what is this one God? The Sufi masters, they have mentioned सदियों से फिलासफा की चीन बर चीन रही. सदियों से फिलासफा की चीन बर चीन रही, मगर खुदा की बात यहां थी वहां ही रही. This question have never been answered. Only philosophies have taken birth out of this question. And then the philosophies fight among themselves. In the name of God, we fight. In the name of God, we divide. That's been going on. Philosophies have taken birth, but this question have not been solved. So the question was asked, Katham Ekoho Deva iti. Tell me, what is this one God? And the answer that this sage gave, we all need to know. We all need to experience. And our answer was Prana iti Saha Brahma. Prana iti Saha Brahma. That one God is your breath. That one God you are finding is your breath. Breath is the one God. You know, when breath is here, prana is here, everybody is sharing it. My prana coming from here, your prana coming from here. Here, the prana is one. I'm going very slow. We're going to do a practice to invoke the prana, but we must know what is this prana. Prana is God, is one God in its most tangible form. Not God of the skies, not God of the philosophies, not God of the religion, but your God, due to which you are alive, is your breath. And Guru Nanak said it very clear. You read Japji, Pavan Guru. The Guru is your Pavan, the Pavan is your Guru. The breath is your Guru, the prana is your Guru. When the prana is here, you and me, what are we? We are prana. Life is breath. Breath is life. When the breath or the prana is here, your prana is also here. In the same space, it is one. As the prana goes in, my samskaras, my patterns, my emotions, my story, my karma creates an imprint on that one God, and it becomes you. Prana becomes you, prana becomes your story, prana becomes your karma, prana becomes your samskaras, prana becomes your problems, prana becomes your solutions. You are just the wind. What are you? What is life? Life is wind, prana. As long as the prana is flowing, you are alive. And when the prana stops, that's the end of your story. Nobody knows who you are, and who you are is gone. Prana gives an identity, individualization. When the prana is here, it is called Brahmanda. And when the prana goes in, it becomes a Pinda. Pind, Brahmanda. Jo Brahmanda, soi Pinda. Whatever is in the universe is inside you. Here, you and me are one. As the prana goes in, that prana, localized prana is me. Localized prana is you. Here, unlocalized prana. This is God, you know. This is God. This is God. ना देखने की तरह हमने जिंदगी देखी, ना देखने की तरह हमने जिंदगी देखी. I was finding life here. When life was here, I searched for life here. ना देखने की तरह हमने जिंदगी देखी. चिराग बुझने लगा. चिराग बुझने लगा तो रोशनी देखी. When it came at the moment of death, whole life, I thought life was here. So I kept searching for my solutions here. I kept looking for my problems here. I thought life was here. But at the time of death, life ended here, not here. You know, your mind dies 3 days after your physical death. Life ended here. I was searching for one God somewhere here and sometimes up there. But God was here all this while. Zindagi खुद इबादत है, जिंदगी खुद इबादत है मगर होश नहीं। I was finding meditation tools here. I was finding meditation techniques here. But when my coming and going of the breath was the very meditation, जिंदगी खुद इबादत है मगर होश नहीं, होश नहीं, होश नहीं. Awareness of the breath. Much of the stuff we do is unconscious because we are unconscious of the breath. When we become aware of the breath, we come to a realization that here everybody is meeting. Everybody is meeting here, right here. Rumi says, where the road ends, I'll meet you there. Where the road ends, I'll meet you there. So where the road ends? Guru Nanak says the road ends 10 fingers away from you. Guru Nanak says the road ends 10 fingers away from you. Tre, Sat, Ungal, Vai, Audhu, Shunya, Sach, Aharo, Gurmukh bola, Tat virulla, China, Alk aparo. The Guru says Tre, Sat, 3 and 7, 10. 10 fingers away from you. 4, 8, 10 here. This is where your breath ends, ordinarily. Your breath ends 10 fingers away from you. And if you are too closer to your head, then this life goes far away from you. It goes to 12 fingers, 14 fingers, 16 fingers. When you are totally caught up here, life goes away from here. 24 fingers. That means you are stressed. That means you are depressed. That means you have lost touch with your life. Okay? So 12 fingers away from you, road ends. Rumi says, where the road ends, I shall meet you there. Every one of us, we are meeting at 12 fingers away. It does not matter where you are because there's only one space. There are not two spaces. There is one universal space, one. Guru Nanak says, Eko Ankar, one universal space, one universal consciousness, singularity. And that singularity in its most tangible form is the breath, right here. I showed you God, my friends. I gave you God, my friends. And this is called Hari Katha, the Katha of Hari, Katha of creativity that will awaken you. So connecting with your breath, 12 fingers away, Gargi says, Prana itihi saha Brahma. Prana is God. So today we're going to get close to God. In the sacred Quran, it is mentioned, Saharagatum vi nede vasda. Saharagatum vi nede vasda. This is the Punjabi translation. Even a great sage, Bhai Nandalal, those of you know, a Sikh sage, he mentions the same thing. Saharag tu vi nede vasda, dunya firdi vich harani. The world is lost in wonder. Where is God? Where is my life? Where are my problems? Where are my solutions? And Sarag tu vi nede vasda is closer than your breath vein. It's in your breath. And I can keep talking, my friends. So today's session, we're going to touch God. We're going to touch the divine. We're going to touch the Pavan Guru. And there is a method of touching. There's a method of awakening. That's the tools of awakening. The tools of awakening states. The tools of awakening. The tools given by the sages of the Himalayas. The sages of the Himalayas, known as the sages of dreadlocks. The sages of the dreadlocks. the sages of matted hair, Jata Jute, those who are with jatas, Jata Jute it is. Long-haired sages, that's another translation for them. They're different kind of sages. The sages of the desert, the sages of the land, the sages of the river, the sages of the trees. And then the highest teachings comes from the Himalayas, and they are known as the sages of dreadlocks. Jata Jute, Baba Sri Chand mentions, Jata Jute Mukt Sir Hoye. I'm bringing in Punjabi and Hindi and Gurumukhi. I believe most of you, are from India today. I know we have people from other parts of the world also. But, just be with me, and I'm sure you're understanding and you're sharing, and you are receiving what's supposed to be shared. So Baba Sri Chand says, Jata Jute Mukt Siro Hoye, Bandhan Phire Mukta Phire, Bandhan Nahi Koye. Though the sages of the dreadlocks, they have crown over their heads in the form of the dreadlocks, in the form of long hair, the rishi knots over their head, and they put a crown of spirituality on their head, and they walk in freedom. Mukta Phira, Bandhan nahi koi. They're not attached to anything. Those sages gave this wisdom. Those sages who have freed themselves from themselves. Can you believe this? They have freed themselves from themselves. You can free yourself from anybody, not a problem. We got our freedom. Today is India's Independence Day. We got freedom from the British. It's very easy, not a problem, I know. A lot of people sacrifice, but it's possible. But there is one ultimate freedom which is very difficult, and those who have attained that freedom, in the Shiva Sutra, Shiva mentions very clearly. He says, Siddhaha Swaha Tantra Bhava. Those who have freed themselves from themselves, they are known as the Siddhas, the sages of the dreadlocks, the sages of the long hair. So they gave these tools. How to connect with God, which is all the time under the nose. And the first tool is very simple. The first tool, my friends, we are diving into our Kriya now. Be with me. The first tool, close your hands. Fold your hands. When you fold your hands, mind is folded. Just that you're not aware. Job over, finished. You're in meditation now. You know that? You are in meditation now. When hands are folded, mind is folded. When mind is folded, world is folded. But your patterns, but the impressions which you generated, which you accumulated before your hands were folded, they start coming in. But the law is, when you fold your hands, mind is folded. But the pattern comes back. The pattern that you accumulated before you folded your hands still goes on. So first, fold the hands. When you fold your hands, you fold your mind. When you fold your mind, you fold the world. Second, spine straight. Spine straight. Slowly moving into a different dimension. Okay? Third, they say close your eyes. Close your eyes. So can you close your eyes, please? Close your eyes. And as you close your eyes, I want you to keep seeing. Close your eyes and keep seeing. Close your eyes and keep seeing. Don't stop seeing. Your vision does not stop even when you fold your eyes. Be with me, my friends. Don't move. Eyes closed. Keep seeing the darkness. Keep seeing the darkness. When the eyes are shut, when the eyelids are closed, you still see. You still see. Your seeing does not end when the eyelids are shut. I want you to see the dark space right in front of you. I want you to look into the dark space. I want you to look into the dark space right in front of the two eyes. This is known as Mahakal. Mahakal, the primordial dark matter. This is the primordial dark matter. You know, this is God. You know that? This is Mahakal. That which swallows time and space. Okay, beautiful. I want you to open your eyes. Open your eyes. When you open your eyes, left is time, right is space. Time and space. This is the world of time and space. The world of time and space has boundaries. Your vision stops at a certain distance, not beyond that. Okay? But when you close your eyes and you see, there is no limitations. You know, the darkness that you see in the eyes closed has no limitations. It is vast. It swallows time and space. When you close your eyes, time and space disappears. You know that? Do you know that? When you close your eyes, time and space disappears. From Kal, you go to Mahakal. Every time you close your eyes, you're seeing God, Mahakal. You're not aware. Your every action is divine. Your every blink is divine. Your every breath is divine. Your movement of the tongue is divine. Your heartbeat, drum of Shiva. The cells, 33 trillion cells in the body, corresponds to the 33 trillion gods and goddesses, devas and devis. 33 crore it is called. Your every act was divine. Zindagi khud ibadat. Zindagi khud ibadat hai, magar khush nahi. Just becoming aware. So I just wanted to show you that every action of yours is a step towards the divine. It's a divine playing a game. It's called Karta Purkh. Karta Purkh. Your every action, Karta Purkh, the Purusha, is playing through it, projecting itself through you. The movement of your hands, maina tha, my friends, maina tha, wo aap the, malum na tha. मैं न था, वो आप थे, मालूम न था, मालूम नहीं है, बस इतनी सी बात है. This is all you need to know. This is called knowing. This is called vidya. This is called gyan. What is gyan? What is wisdom? Knowing. Knowing. Now you don't know, but you are in that pattern, in that movement. And when you become conscious, you are alive. And that aliveness comes through the breath. My friends, spine straight, hands in the center of the chest. Let's close the eyes. And let's open ourselves. Spine straight, hands in the center of the chest, eyes closed. And those of you who know the mantra, you chant with me, Ong Namo Gurudev Namo, which means I bow to the totality. And we will chant this in 2 breaths. If you know the mantra, you chant. If you don't know the mantra, you listen. Because when you listen, you will know. And when you know, you can chant too. Okay, eyes closed. Om Namo Namo Om Namo Gurudeva Namo Adgure Namaha Jugadgure Namaha Satgure Namaha Sri Gurudeva Namaha Adgure Namaha Jugadgure Namaha Satgure Namaha Sri Gurudeva Namaha Adgure Namaha Jugadgure Namaha Satgure Namaha Sri Gurudeva Namaha. And inhale and hold your breath. And as you hold your breath, I want you to tense your eyes. Tense your eyes and tense your forehead. Hold the breath, medical reasons, relax. Tense your eyes, tense your forehead, and tense your skull. Tense, this is where your pattern is. Tense your eyes, tense your forehead, squeeze your forehead, and tense your skull. And through the nose, exhale. And one more time, loudly inhale. Really loudly. Hold the breath, eyes closed. Tense your eyes, tense your forehead, tense your skull. Now, navel in and up. Pull the navel in and up. Lift your ribcage. Lift your ribcage higher. The ribcage is where your consciousness is engaged. Lift the ribcage higher, 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 higher. Tense the eyes at the same time. Tense the forehead, tense the skull. And through the nose, exhale. One more time, inhale deep, loudly. And hold, navel in and up. Navel in and up. Lift your ribcage, and tense your eyes, tense your eyes, tense your forehead, tense your skull, all these at the same time. Hold, and through the nose, exhale. One more time, inhale through the nose. And as you hold the sacred breath, as you hold God within yourself, I want you to tense your whole body. Tense your whole body, both hands in the center of the chest as it is, and they're pressing against each other. Press the hands together. Press the hands in the prayer pose against each other and tense the whole body. Squeeze yourself. Tense yourself. Align yourself to your spine. Breath is held. Make sure your face is tense, eyes tense, jaws tense, and the whole body, all the 33 trillion cells align through the spine. And through the nose, exhale. And one more time, inhale. And hold, navel in and up, and squeeze and tense the whole body, ribcage up, and all the way from the toes to the tip of your skull, hands in the center of the chest. I want you to squeeze and tense every cell of yours. Press the hands against each other as tight, as forcefully as you can. Press the hands against each other in the prayer pose. And align yourself into your spine. Squeeze yourself. Reduce yourself into your spine, into your Shushmana. Open the gate, and through the nose, exhale. And very slowly open your eyes. So blessings to you. We just tuned in and we chanted the mantra. We shifted our dimension. You know that? You shifted your reality. You shifted your dimension. You shifted your whole reality. You are in a different space now. Become aware of that. Appreciate that so that it will grow. So today we're going to do some breath work so that we can cleanse ourselves and we can clear the nadis, the 72,000 nadis. Get the signs. One breath. We're starting off with the same story. One breath. Okay. One breath, one God goes in you. And the mechanics of your body, which is known as pinda, is called the pinda. The mechanics of the pinda is such that one prana is divided into 5 pranas. Prana, apana, samana, udyana, and vyana. So you are one wind, one soul, one soul. Here, you and me, one soul, one God, one soul. Here, you and me become 2 souls. And as that one soul enters me, I am divided into 5. Prana, apana, samana, udyana, and vyana. And when these 5 pranas flow through my 72,000 nadis, my whole being is divided into 72,000 segments. So a mind is one thought, one energy divided into 72,000 segments. It's called Vyadi in Sanskrit, Vyadi. And when you become conscious, and from 1 it became 5, and from 5 it became 72,000, when you become aware, you bring it back into 5, and then you bring it back into 1 again. That is called Samadhi. Samadhi. So Vyadi is when you are not in control of your prana. You're not in control. You're stuck here. And when you come down from here into your body, into awareness, into zindagi, khud ibadat hai. When the zindagi, the breath becomes ibadat, when breath becomes meditation, with hosh, with awareness, then that vyadi, segmentation, you're always segmented. Never a time you are here. You are here, you want to be there. You are there, you want to be here. And that unity is called samadhi. So we're going to attain that today with the grace of the Guru. For the blink of the eye, my friends, every one of you, with the grace of Guru Ramdas, you will experience a unity. You will experience a sitting. Become aware. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. Pranayam, when done correctly, immediately it gives you an experience of unity. You without your story. You without your story. You without your problems. You without your solutions. Pranayam, there are 3 types. One type of pranayam will create heat in your body. Heat in the body. That's the first level of pranayam. First level of breath work. And when the body heat is produced, the muscle memory changes. Heat, psychic heat. Of course, heat has many layers. I'm not going into that. But when pranayam creates heat in the body, know that your pranayam, you're doing it correctly. And that's the first sign of a right pranayam. So first part, body will be heated up. Second part, there will be vibrations in the body. Your body will start to vibrate. All the 33 trillion cells in the body will start to vibrate. The gods and the goddesses will start to vibrate. This is known as, the gopis are dancing around Krishna. This is what it means. Krishna is your consciousness, and all these gopis, all these different segments of your being starts to synchronize along automatically because something has set in you. So that's the second level of pranayam. First, creates heat. Second, creates vibration. And number 3, as the pranayam goes deeper, you will feel a lightness. Lightness. Your body will become very light. And when your body becomes light, know that the weight of your emotions, you were born to fly. not physically fly, but fly in life, flow in life. Why you can't flow in life? Because you carry too much weight. What is the weight? Your emotions. So much weight, unnecessary. You hold on to emotion. It is totally fine to be angry. It's totally fine to enjoy the emotions. But when you hold on to them for too long, then there's a paperweight. You can't fly. So pranayam helps you to become light. And when you become light, you become enlightened. Enlightened means you become very light. Emotions come. Yes, I need to be angry. What's wrong with that? You can be angry. You can let the emotions come, but you can let go of it immediately after that. You play with the emotion and you can let it go. So these are the three levels of pranayam, and we will be diving into some of those today. And for any medical reasons, any of these kriyas you're not able to do is totally fine. Totally fine. So be yourself. Don't listen to me. Listen to your body. Something went into my eyes. Okay. So listen to your body. Okay. I'm listening to my body. Okay. So listen to your body. And anytime you're feeling uncomfortable, please relax. Okay. There's no competition going on. So let's start our kriya for the day. This is your left hand, and this is your right hand. This is your left hand. This is your right hand. Now I want you to turn your left hand like this. My left hand, I'm turning it outward. Okay. My right hand, I'm bringing it over. And I'm crossing over. So left becomes right, right becomes left. Okay. So Ida and Pingala over here, they intersect each other. Okay? We are creating the same environment. So the Jupiter finger is out. Okay. So once you have done that, and you bring these both hands up like that. Okay, like in Satnam, that Sat Kriya, same thing, but the only difference is this. Okay, so Jupiter finger. Okay, so it's Jupiter finger, and the thumbs, they can be like these or they can be over the other. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so not into many complications. So simple as that. You can do it like this. You can make it like this, or you can do it like this, or you can just do it like this. The Jupiter finger is out. Okay, so this is called the Shushmana Mudra. The Shushmana Mudra. Ida and Pingala unites together. Shushmana, hands above the head, up and straight. And this part is here with your eyes. Sorry, with your ears. With your ears. Okay, beautiful. So it can be very challenging. It will be challenging for some of you. And give your best. And I believe it's early morning there. And I hopefully you guys did not have a heavy breakfast today. Okay. Okay, beautiful. So for these, I want you to, eyes will be open, but you will be looking up into the third eye. So you will be in this mudra and eyes will be open and you will be looking up into the third eye. So it will look something like this. So those of you who can see me, you may want to have a look at me. So the eyes are old and they're looking here. So I have these eyebrows coming down here and there's a point here. So this is the Himalayas upside down. Okay, so you're looking up into the Himalayas. Okay, so eyes are old. You may want to look at me for a second before you dive into it. And don't worry, relax. Just bring your hands down. You're going to do it for some time. You'll be tired. Okay, so eyes will be rolled and they're looking right here. And, the eyebrows comes down like that. And there's a tip. There's a tip here, the mountain tip upside down, the Himalayan tip. Okay, so eyes will be open, looking up, hands will be up. And you will be doing a O mouth. O, okay? Just say O and just hold the posture of the O mouth. This is a very powerful practice. Very powerful practice. Now you will be inhaling and exhaling, or I will say breath of fire through the O mouth. Breath of fire through the O mouth. So those of you know what breath of fire is. Breath of fire is pumping of the navel. So it will look something like this. Hands will be above the head, eyes will be open, and something like this. So you will hear this sound. And this is the song of your soul. This is the song of your soul. This is the flute of Krishna. flute of Krishna. This is the Krishna means consciousness, and this is the flute. And listen to this flute. Listen to this flute. It will change, We may not be going very deep today, but if you make this as a practice, you will be amazed that this it has many layers. It will change its frequencies. Become aware of the flute of Krishna. Okay? Now, what are you doing? Listen to this, my friends. Left nostril, when you're inhaling through the left nostril, this is known as wisdom prana. Wisdom prana. And when you inhale, exhale through the right nostril, that is called karmic prana. Karmic prana. Whenever you are suffering, whenever you are in the hands of karma, your right nostril will be working. Your left nostril will not work. Your right nostril will work whenever you are under the grip of karma. All suffering takes place when right nostril is working. There's a whole science, and you can shift it. When you become alive, become aware of your zindagi, your life, your breath. When you know zindagi khud ibadat hai magar hosh nahi, when you become aware towards the breath of life, you will be able to change it. Your life is flowing because of karma. But when you become aware, karma changes to dharma. Dharma means you are in control. And not in an egoistic way, but you are in control. I hope I'm making sense. I'm making it very simple. Yet I'm trying to transmit to you some of the greatest truth of the yogic wisdom. So the left nostril is wisdom prana. Whenever you are peaceful, whenever you are relaxed, whenever you are happy, your left nostril will be working. Okay, and of course there are deeper layers, there are deeper dimensions to that. Are you having the prana of fire? Are you having the prana of water? Are you having the prana of the ethers? So it's a deeper science inside. I'm not going into that. Okay, so you can just change your breath, and you can change your emotions, you change your life, you change everything once you become aware. And this is just one short session, just to give you a glimpse of that science, that ecstasy, that wisdom which is embedded in you, totally embedded in you. Okay, so this is the wisdom prana, and this is the karmic prana. Now, when you don't inhale through the left and you don't exhale through the right, you inhale, exhale through the mouth, this is called neutral prana. Neutral prana. Neutral prana means it can be molded. It can be changed. It can be totally transformed the way you want to transform. This is due to your karma. This shifts due to your karma. No control. Ordinarily, I'm speaking, although you can control this too, but ordinarily. But when the breath comes through the mouth, there's a direct connection with the neutral prana. Akashic records are assessed. Akashic records are changed when you inhale, exhale through the cave of wisdom. This is called Gyan Gufa. It's called Gyan Gufa, the cave of wisdom. If you read the Puranas, there's a story. Ved Vyas wrote the 4 Vedas, the 18 Puranas, and the 108 Upanishads in the cave of Rishi Ved Vyas. It's a cave. Those who have been to the Himalayan mountains, Badrinath, near Badrinath, there's a cave known as Vyas Dev's cave, Gufa. But there's an external story. It's beautiful. It is real. But my friends, there's another Gufa. This is the Gufa, Gyan Gufa. When you are able to sit into this, you are able to download all the Akashic records. When you can sit in your Gyan Gufa, when you have control over your tongue, when you have the power of the breath through the mouth and not through the nostrils, you understand what I'm trying to share with you. When you have access to this Gufa, this is the cave of Veda Vyasa. This is the cave of wisdom, Veda, Vidya. When you have power over this, then you are able to assess the Akashic records. And that's what they say. Veda Vyasa sat in the cave and he downloaded the four Vedas from the Akasha. Everything from memory, he assessed the Akasha. There's an external story, but there's an internal part of it. You first have to sit in your cave. So when you're able to assess the prana through the O mouth, you assess the unknown. Just look at that. It is not something very complicated, Life is very simple. Just becoming aware. So you will be inhaling, exhaling. And of course, just by doing these, you will not be able to assess the Akashic records. There's much deeper science. We are not able to share that. This is just an introduction. Okay, so you will come back again and again to study. Okay, so we will do this small kriya. And we will do this about 2 minutes. Anytime you're uncomfortable, relax and just follow the instructions. Eyes will be closed. Anytime you're uncomfortable, relax, please, my friends. Hands right here. Jupiter finger out, hands above, and straight up, 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 up. Stretch, 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 stretch. Now stretch the arms as high as you can, my friends. And now I want you to lift your chest. Lift your chest, lift your chest, lift your chest. And lift your ribcage, lift your ribcage, lift your ribcage. Don't start the breath yet. Don't start the breath yet. Now lift your ribcage, lift your shoulders as close as you can. Medical reasons, relax. Bring your shoulders as close as possible to the ears. The cave of listening, the cave of transmission, your ears. And your shoulders, your responsibility. Shoulders are your pillars. The pillars of life have to come as close as possible to the cave of listening, the cave of Suniya. Okay, beautiful. Lift your heart, lift your heart, lift your heart, lift your heart, lift your chest, lift your chest, lift your chest, lift your chest, lift your ribcage, lift your ribcage, lift your ribcage. Now hold these locks, hold these locks, hold these locks. These locks don't move. Ribcage up, shoulders up, hand up. Eyes open, look up into the third eye. You must pull yourself up. Pull yourself up. Pull the ribcage up. Pull the ribcage up. Pull the ribcage up. Pull the ribcage up, 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 up. The chest up. O mouth. Hold this position. Hold these bandhas. Now, O mouth, breath of fire. Hold the locks and keep doing the breath. Stretch the arms, the shoulders as close as possible up into the ears, as near as possible. The heart remains up. Medical reasons, relax, my friends. If you have heart issues or anything around the heart, anything around the navel, you can always modify it according to what fits you. Listen to your body. Don't listen to me. Beautiful, my friends. You're doing a great job. You're activating all the 72,000 nadis and you're assessing the wisdom of the stars, the wisdom of the Himalayas. You're doing great. We're almost done. Keep up. I'm not going to do it for long. I'm just going to do it about 2.5 to 3 minutes. We are almost done, my friends. Almost done. Keep up, keep up. The ribcage up, 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 up. Ribcage stays up. You will feel a whole opening. The psychic fields will open. The psychic fields will open. The 72,000 nadis will be activated. On a very physical level, your blood will start to clean itself. Your pancreas will start to clean themselves. Your lungs will be able to get bigger capacity of inhale and exhale. Doing it great. Keep it up, keep up, spine straight and stretch the spine as well. And you are basically lifting the upper body as high as you can and kind of tearing the body from the lower part to the higher part. You must be able to feel a stretch at the navel and the ribcage, something opening up, something opening up. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Ribcage up, and your chest is up. Hands remain in that mudra, the Shushmana mudra, Jupiter finger facing the skies, facing the ethers. Eyes are open and they're looking up into the third eye. Something is changing, something is transforming. Hold these locks and Om out, breath of fire. Hear the flute. Hear the sound of your soul. Hear the song of your soul. Song of your soul. You're doing great, my friends. You're almost done. 2 more minutes to go. Anytime you're uncomfortable, you can relax. You can relax and then hold the position down, bring the hands down, and then again go up. But if you can, it's not for long. Just for 2 more minutes to go, we are almost done. We're going to have an experience. We're going to do work on ourselves. Your body will start to vibrate. Your body will start to vibrate and your body will start to heat up, psychic heat. Keep up, psychic heat in the body, digestive fire is activated, intellectual fire is activated, psychic fire is activated, and the fire of wisdom is activated. You're doing work on yourself. In the words of Guru Nanak, this is called mashakkat. Mashakkat, hard work, self-cleansing. You are working on yourself. You are in charge and you have a choice, but you can go ahead and keep going, keep going. 1.5 minutes to go. 1.5 minutes to go. Anytime you're uncomfortable, medical reasons, my friends, relax. We are almost done. Keep up, keep up. Beautiful, beautiful. 45 seconds to go. Those of you who are not doing it, last 45 seconds. Keep up, give it a try. You're not doing it for long. Eyes open, look up. The vision of Shiva, the vision of awareness, the vision of consciousness is called the Dharmakaya Mudra. The seal of Dharma when the eyes looks up, assessing the stars, assessing the wisdom. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Keep up, keep up, keep up. Almost done. 30 seconds, 30 seconds, 30 seconds, 30 seconds. Almost done. Keep the rib cage up, 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 up. Hold the rib cage up. Hold the rib cage up. A sacred and a secret Kriya. I've shared this before once also, those of you who have been with me for some time. Beautiful. It's a gift on the day of the independence of India so that you can become independent of your issues. You can transcend your problems. You can transcend your ordinary nature and experience the Buddha nature, the Bodhicitta. Beautiful. Keep up, keep up. Last 10 seconds. And last 5 seconds, my friends. Up, 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 up. Rib cage up, up, chest, up. And Om out. Keep up, keep up, keep up. Okay, beautiful. Inhale, Om out. Remain in the posture. Exhale, Om out. Remain in the posture. Inhale, Om out. Exhale, Om out. Locks remain, don't change. Inhale, Om out. Exhale, Om out. Inhale, Om out. Exhale, Om out. Remain in the posture. Om out, inhale. Om out, exhale. Om out, inhale. Om out, exhale. Om out, inhale. And please hold. Eyes closed, but remain in the posture. Remain in the posture. Tense, tense, tense. Stretch the shoulders as close as possible, my friends. The hands remain as they are. And through the Om out, exhale out. Relax the locks, but don't move the hands. Don't move the hands. Don't move the hands. Relax the locks. Beautiful. One more time. Eyes open. Look up. Hands remain as it is. And lift your chest. Lift your rib cage. Shoulders up, up, up. Om out. Inhale. Om out. Exhale. Om out. Inhale. Om out. Powerful exhale. Om out. Inhale. Om out. Exhale. O mouth, inhale. O mouth, exhale. O mouth, inhale. O mouth, exhale. O mouth, inhale. O mouth, exhale. O mouth, inhale. And hold, eyes closed. And lift your chest. And lift your chest, lift the rib cage. Apply Mool Bandh. Apply Mool Bandh. Now tense the whole body. Tense the whole body. Rib cage remains up. Chest remains up. And through the O mouth, exhale. Relax the locks. Hands remain as it is. Just relax. Hands, leave it as it is above the head. Don't move. But the locks are all relaxed. Beautiful. Hands remain as it is. Open your eyes. Look up into the third eye. Lift your chest. Lift your rib cage. And one more time. O mouth, inhale. O mouth, exhale. Locks remain. Inhale, O mouth. Exhale, O mouth. Inhale, O mouth. Exhale, O mouth. Inhale, O mouth. Rib cage remains up. Exhale, O mouth. Chest remains up. Inhale, O mouth. Exhale, O mouth. Inhale, O mouth. Exhale, O mouth. Inhale, O mouth. Exhale, O mouth. Inhale, O mouth. And hold. Hold, eyes closed. Hands stretch. This is the last time, so please do it. Rib cage up, 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 up. And chest up, apply Mool Bandh and squeeze and tense every cell of yours from head to toe. Squeeze and stretch yourself up, 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 up. Pull all the prana up into your 10th gate. Just pull all the prana up, up into your 10th gate, into your 10th gate, into your skull, into your skull, into your skull. And exhale and hands down. And don't move. Don't move. Hands down. Don't move. Become aware of the heat. Become aware of the vibrations. And become aware of the lightness of the body. Don't move. Don't think. Don't feel. Just be. Just be. Experience yourself without your story. Experience the prana as prana. Experience the unity of prana. The unity of the prana that is outside, experience the same unity inside. It is known as Antir Bahir Har Prabh Eko. The inner God and the outer God, or the inner divine and the outer divine, experienced as one. For a few seconds, forget your story. Pretend you have no story, but you have a sense of being. Don't move. Sit. Do nothing. Beautiful. O mouth, inhale. And please hold the breath and just tense your whole body and squeeze and tense every cell of yours. Make your hands into a very tight fist. Mool Bandh. Squeeze the navel in and up. And O mouth and exhale. And one more time, inhale, O mouth. Hold and just tense the whole body. Rib cage up. Rib cage up. Mool Bandh. Hands into tight fist. Tighten your skull. Tighten your forehead. Tighten the back of your skull. The back of your skull. The back of your skull. O mouth, exhale. For the last time, my friends, inhale through your mouth and hold and tense the whole body, hands into very tight fist, and tense your eyes, tense your forehead, tense the whole body, navel in and up, apply Mulaband, and your hands into a very tight fist, and exhale. And totally relax, and very slowly open your eyes. And Satnam, you can stretch your legs and you can tap yourself if there's a need to, both sides. And tap your lower back. And tap your chest. And your navel center. And inhale through the nose and just shake the whole body. Legs are stretched out if you're sitting. Shake the whole body, your feet as well. Shake, 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 shake. And exhale. And one more time, inhale through the nose. Hold and shake the whole body. Make sure your feet are moving as well. Your feet as well, your feet as well, your feet as well. And exhale. And for the last time, inhale through the nose. And hold and shake the whole body. Shake the whole body, your feet as well, your feet as well, your feet as well, your hands, your whole body, your shoulders, and just shake, 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 shake. And exhale through the nose. And Satnam. So blessings to all of you. It was a very simple but very effective but a very powerful Kriya if you did it correct, if you did it right, if you followed the instructions. We did it about 4 minutes in total. And if you did it right, you can feel an immediate shift in your awareness, immediate shift in your consciousness, centering, anchoring. And that is the power of pranayama when done properly. So these are the kriyas of the sages of the Himalayas. And just to mention, this is not KRI or 3HO. This is the teachings from the lineage of Baba Sri Chand, the Udasin and the Nirmala sages. And so this is the wisdom as passed down, handed down in Dharma, just to let you know. And so I think, we did a meditation. We talked on the breath. And now we have some time. If you have any question in relation to today's session, something that you need to clarify, please feel free to ask a question. If there's no question, then we can end the session. But other than that, it will be good to just have some conversation. So if my friends, if you have any question, please, you are free to ask a question. I think you can unmute yourself. So once you have asked your question, you can mute yourself back. Please, any question. Or you can type it down and Amrit can read it out. That's another way if you don't want to ask a question. I'll wait for a few moments, a few seconds.
Yogiji, I just want to say pranam. I was supposed to join you 2 years ago at your making of a yogi in the Himalayas, but I could not make it. So I just want to offer my pranam to you, Satnam.
Blessings to you. I remember you. I remember yes.
I know. I really wanted to be there with you, but my friend Deepthi came instead, and Cheryl from the US. But hopefully, I'll be able to be in your presence soon. Satnam.
Sure. Maybe next year when we are doing our retreat in India. So we had plans to do a retreat in India like we do every year. This year we wanted to go to South India.
Yes.
Due to this, these changes in the way we see our reality.
Yes.
And so we postponed it. So next year we will be coming down to South India. So join us next year.
Yes, for sure. I'm in Bangalore right now, so would love to be there.
Good. Blessings to you and to your family.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Yogiji.
Blessings. Okay, anything else? Anybody else? Any question? you will need to unmute yourself. So if you go onto your left side, right below, there's this place you can unmute yourself.
Okay.
Okay.
Beautiful to see you, and thank you for your beautiful practice. I still continue doing the same practice since the Himalayas.
Oh my God, it's you. Okay. Nice to see you. Blessings to you. Blessings to you. We can't hear you now.
Sorry?
I think you got cut off. Can you repeat yourself?
I still love the practice from Chandri.
Okay. I think you got cut off again, but I am sure whatever you have said, my soul have heard it. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Blessings to you. And yeah, let's hopefully we'll meet up again sometime down the road on the physical realm.
Very
Okay.
beautiful.
Anything else?
Maybe. Okay.
Somebody's trying to talk?
It is me.
Yes. Who is this me?
Hey,
Who?
it is I.
Yes, nice to meet you.
I followed your video about the concept mind consciousness. The mind, the body, and the consciousness. And people believe that the consciousness in the body, but you have said.
Okay. So your voice is cutting off, but I think I know what you're saying. So I got what you're saying. So your voice cuts off. So hopefully this is what you're trying to convey. So in one of my talks, I mentioned that ordinarily we think we have a body, and then we have a mind, and then we have consciousness. So consciousness is the smallest part or the last part of our reality. So we have a physical body, then we have a mind, and in the mind is consciousness. This is what we think. But the yogic teaching, they say no, there is consciousness, and within consciousness there is mind, and within the mind there is body. So it's the other way around. And to understand these, there are many ways to understand this. And for example, if you look at dream state, in the dream, okay, in your dream, there is consciousness, and then in the consciousness, the mind, and then in the mind, a dream body is born. Okay, so in your dream state, you have consciousness, you have mind, and then in the mind, you have a body. But the body in the dream thinks, I have a body, and then in my body there's mind, and then in the mind it is consciousness. So like the experience of the dream state, the same experience is there in the awakened state. So there is this universal consciousness which is dreaming us. Universal consciousness is dreaming us. In the dream, whoever you experience in the dream, you see it as a separate person, as a separate body, as a separate entity in the dream. But when you woke up, the entire dream was you. That which you saw as the other body was also your body. Okay? And you were just a body within the mind. You yourself in the dream was also a body within the mind, within the consciousness. So the sages mentioned you, me, and all that is, everything, is a one universal consciousness dreaming us. The Vedic tradition states Mahavishnu is dreaming all of us. If you have seen the picture of Mahavishnu, he's lying down on the Shesha, the 1,000-headed Sheshnag, and he's dreaming us. So we are at the dream of God. And in the dream, the consciousness is all pervading in the dream. If we were to dream now, if we were having a dream now, my body is within consciousness. This is also within consciousness. This is within consciousness. In fact, this is also modification of consciousness. My laptop is also modification of consciousness. And even this space in the dream is also consciousness. Even my glass is consciousness, but it looks matter. So consciousness is all pervading. This is called all pervading God. If you can't see God, God means consciousness. In all, you can't see God at all. So this is stated as Sab Gobind hai, Gobind bin nahi koi. Everything is God, everything is consciousness, everything is awareness. So the yogic teaching mentions that you and me are a collective dream that is happening. In the dream, we are individual. We see each other as you and me as two. But in reality, you and me are just a modulation of one consciousness. And the day you are awakened, you see that you were all. There was no other but you and your consciousness. So there's much deeper science than this, but I think this should be enough for that question you had. So that's another way of looking at our reality. So all is consciousness, and within consciousness is mind, and within mind is body. Okay, much more, much deeper. I just gave a very small introduction. Blessings to you. Anything else before we end our session today?
Gigi, and she's asking, please teach a breath to attract peace.
To attract what? Your voice gets cut off for some reason. Hopefully my voice was not like that throughout. Hopefully it was not.
Attract opportunities.
Attract opportunities. So a breath to attract opportunities?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay. Your breath is really attracting opportunities, which is called life, which is called the gifts of life. So this is a question that comes from the mind. The mind don't understand this. Your breath, your very pattern of the breath is attracting opportunities, the ultimate opportunity, and that ultimate opportunity without which there is no other opportunity, without which there cannot be any other opportunity, and that is called the breath of life. Zindagi khud ibadat hai. Your very life is a meditation. It's a full of opportunities. Prosperity is the breath. So instead of giving you anything new to add on, okay, which is not necessary. In fact, the way to meditate is to align our self, which is the mind here, align our individual self who thinks I need to do this, I don't need to do this, I need to modify this. This is not how it should be. That I, superficial I, known as ahankara or ahamkara in the Sanskrit language, that one has to align itself with what is happening. So what is happening? When you're sitting, you are sitting. When you're breathing, you are breathing. When you are eating, you are eating. When you are walking, you are walking. To be with what is happening. This is the greatest opportunity. You're getting the opportunity to walk. You're getting the opportunity to talk. You're getting the opportunity to eat. You're getting an opportunity to share, which you are doing now. This is an opportunity. You, God, your breath, this moment give you an opportunity so that you can give a part of your savings, a part of your essence to someone so that it can be used in service of another life. Look at that opportunity. This is the ultimate opportunity. So every moment opportunities are coming, just that you're not aware. So sit with your breath. Sit with your breath. Don't change it. Let it come, let it go. try to find where the breath stops. Try to become aware where exactly the breath stops. Now, if the breath is stopping very far away from you, okay, I'm just going to emphasize this to show you what far is. So I'm breathing out. Far. There's so much of roughness in the breath I showed you. But then there is a smooth breathing. So smooth breathing. And this is the ultimate opportunity, the opportunity without which there will be no other opportunities. All the opportunities are born because of this opportunity, which is the breath. So sitting with the breath and seeing where it goes, where it ends, and where it starts. That is where you and me and totality, that is where you touch God. Your breath is giving you the opportunity to touch God every moment. And we need to find something else, some other opportunity. So good question. Thank you for the question. But I'm just telling you, you are already divine. You full opportunities are coming. You're not aware. होश नहीं ना देखने की तरह हमने जिंदगी देखी चिराग बुझने लगा तो रोशनी देखी. So become aware of your breath. That's number one. Number two, when you're walking, don't think and walk. This may be very new for many of us. Don't think and walk. Become aware of walking when walking. When you become aware of walking when walking, you are fully available to the moment. And all opportunities will be born in the moment. You don't need to do something special because there's no special. Yes, we need to do something special when the mind is too active. To fool the mind, we created uncountable kriyas, uncountable meditations to fool the mind. But once the mind has dissolved, once you have known the secret, there's this Sufi saying, Gal samajh lai raula ki. Gal samajh lai raula ki, Ram Rahim te Maula ki. Then the division of this and that just disappears when you understand this one. Ek nukte vich gal mukdi hai, Baba Bulle Shah, great Sufi master. Ek nukte vich gal mukdi hai. Just one understanding and everything just solves by itself. And that understanding is the understanding of the breath, the understanding of the God that is coming and going. So be with your breath. The breath comes, breath goes, breath comes, breath goes. Don't change it. Just be with it, fully present with it. And the gifts of life it brings along with it. When you're walking, walk with it, be with it instead of thinking and walking. When you're eating, try this one day. When you're eating, just eat. Be with the whole movement of the hands and see how miracles are taking birth. Each time you move a hand, okay, and you grab that rice which is going into you, the sun and the moon and the stars all got together to give birth to that one rice so you can experience life. That one rice you take in, the grain of rice, all the stars contributed to that. All the rainbows contributed to that. Every drop of the ocean contributed to that. Look at that. Opportunities. Wow. You are living opportunity. God is having an opportunity to enjoy himself through you. God is having opportunity to enjoy himself through you, through your creation. The creator has come in the creation. Karta Purkh it is called. Karta Purkh. The creator has come into the creation to enjoy the creation. So you're blinking of the eyes and opportunity, the movement of the hands, and I can keep going on and on and on. Become aware of yourself, become aware of your walk, become aware of your talk, become aware of your blink, become aware. When you are aware, you are alive. And when you are alive, you are life. You are God. So I hope that that made sense, you know. Okay. Anything else before we end? Okay, good. So blessings to all of you. And thank you, Amrit, for organizing and the organization that all these donations are being collected, and all the donations will be used to feed the hungry, which is the greatest gift, because food is life. You know, food is life, and when you give food to someone, you're giving life. In the house of Guru Ramdas, this is the greatest yoga. You know, this is the greatest yoga. You know, in the house of Guru Ramdas, every day, the house of Guru Ramdas feeds up to 40,000 people free of charge. Every 40,000 people are fed free of charge in the house of Guru. So this is the highest yoga, the yoga of life, the yoga of giving. So even if you give one grain to somebody, karma changes, destiny changes when you learn to give. In fact, before I end, we have a few moments, you know. One of the definition of yoga, my friends, listen to this. One of the definitions of yoga, you may have heard yoga, chittavritti, nirodha, you know, all that Patanjali, you know, beautiful. But there's another definition of yoga, you know, by Shiva himself. In the Shiva Sutra, Shiva was asked, what is yoga? And Shiva says, Vishmayo Yoga Bhumika. Vishmayo Yoga Bhumika. Yoga is an act that makes you happy. Yoga is any act that brings a smile on your face. If you give a small grain to somebody, food to somebody, you know, there's a kind of opening in the heart. Something changes. A person who really needs. I know there are people who are professional beggars. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the people who really need the food, really need that help. And if you help someone who needs help, something opens up. You know, that ecstasy that comes for a few moments, the tingling, the twinkle, twinkle little star that opens up in you, that is yoga. So yoga, Vishmayo Yoga Bhumika, another definition, any act that brings a smile on you, any act that opens the heart for you, that is called yoga. So, you know, this is the highest yoga you have contributed. May Guru Ramdas bless all of you, and may you attain, you know, the great merits of Dharma. And may Guru Ramdas bless all of you with health, wealth, and prosperity, and the highest gift, and that is the gift of Shabad, the gift of Nam. So blessings to you. And yes, so I think we come to an end. And this recording will be available. Amrit has recorded it, so she will be sharing with all of you if that's open, if that's okay with her. And please share this. Dharma need to be shared. That's another thing, you know. Dharma need to be shared. When you share dharma, dharma flourishes, and dharma wraps you in its aura. And when you are in the aura of dharma, automatically grow and glow comes into your life. So please share these teachings, share this video when it's available with your loved ones, so that people can benefit. Nobody knows who will these teachings touch, and how a simple, you know, kriya can change a person's life. So blessings to you. Hands in the center of the chest. Let's eyes closed, and we chant one long Satnam. Satnam. I bow to all those who have walked the path of Dharma, and I bow to all those who are trying to walk the path of Dharma, and I bow to all the rest in one lifetime or the other will walk on the path of Dharma. Satnam. Blessings to you, and happy Independence Day, those of you who are in India. And blessings to you. And yeah, I'll see you soon somewhere. And Satnam.